Hi, I'm Kelly. Today, I'm sharing 2 horror stories from Taiwan. They both begin in abandoned temples deep in the mountains. One with a statue that seemed to lower its head. The other, a small figure hidden under a table, its eyes deliberately scratched out. We thought it was just a casual adventure. But after what happened next, we started to wonder, had those statues been watching us the whole time? One summer, when we were in high school, my 2 friends and I were biking around the hills near our town, just killing time in the heat. We were restless, so we started doing weird stuff, climbing over fences, exploring abandoned buildings, even making a list of places people were too scared to go. One of the spots on that list was an old temple at the base of the mountain. It wasn't that far from our neighborhood, just hidden off a rural path. People said it used to be a local shrine for a lesser-known god, but no one had taken care of it for years. We went there one humid afternoon. The road was lined with overgrown grass taller than we were, and the air felt heavy and sticky. The temple was covered in weeds, but the walls still stood. The front gate was locked, so we climbed over the back. Inside, the air was damp and moldy. The altar had collapsed. Most of the statues were shattered. Heads, hands, pieces scattered across the floor. Only the main statue in the center was intact. But its posture was strange. It sat on a cracked lotus pedestal, still mostly whole, but its head hung very low, so low that its face was completely hidden in shadow, like someone crying with their head buried in their chest. We stared at it for a while. Then my friend Jin said,
"That's weird. I came here with my dad years ago. I remember this one looking up. It had a peaceful smile."
I asked if he was sure. He frowned.
"I don't know, but something feels really off now."
He reached out to wipe the dust off its face, but jerked his hand back.
"Damn, it is freezing."
We didn't stay long, just snapped a few photos and left. That night, after I showered, I lay in bed and felt uneasy. The motion sensor light in our stairwell kept turning on, even though my parents were already asleep. It was like someone was just standing there, still. I peeked downstairs. No one was there. But the light kept doing that for the next few days, turning on without reason, then switching off minutes later. I started having trouble sleeping. I often felt someone was in the room with me, especially when I brushed my teeth. I'd get this strong feeling that something was watching me from the bathroom door. I didn't tell anyone. I just quietly deleted all the temple photos from my phone, except one. The one with that bowed head statue. No matter how many times I tried to delete it, it would always reappear. No error message, just back in the first spot of my photo album, like it never left. Then one night, I got up to brush my teeth around 3 a.m. The house was silent, just the sound of foamy brushing in my mouth. I looked up to spit and saw something strange in the mirror. It was me, standing there brushing like normal. But behind me, at the hallway entrance, a human-like figure. Its head bent low, face hidden, exactly like the statue. I froze completely. Even forgot to take the toothbrush out of my mouth. Then I spun around. Nothing. I turned off the light and ran back to my room without finishing. A few days later, Jin sent something to our group chat. A screenshot from the security cam in his stairwell. It was around 2 a.m. and the footage showed a shadowy figure crawling into frame, its head bent down like someone hunched over, going up the stairs. He joked.
Are we like cursed by that statue or something?
After that, none of us brought it up again. But I went back to that temple alone, just to check if my memory had been wrong. The place was even more overgrown. The altar was gone. More broken stones. The main statue, still there, untouched. But now, its face was lifted, eyes calm, staring right at the front gate, like it had never looked down at all. One weekend that same summer, I went hiking with a few college friends. We were all into design and photography, especially our friend Mia, who was doing a series called Forgotten Places. She found another abandoned temple using Google Maps, but the place was so deep in the mountain, GPS could only get us halfway. We rode to the trailhead, then hiked in about 20 minutes. The temple was halfway up the slope, partly collapsed, but still standing. Half the roof was gone. The altar was tilted, and most of the statues had crumbled. Just broken arms and bases left. But then we noticed something weird. On the outer wall, someone had written something in chalk. It was faded, but still legible. Do not worship the one below. No idea who wrote it, but it definitely looked like a warning. We were just casually chatting and taking pictures. While adjusting my tripod near a corner, I happened to glance under the altar and froze. There was something under there, a tiny statue. I called the others over. It was only about palm-sized and looked exactly like the main statue, but shrunken down. Same sitting pose, hands on knees, head slightly tilted, covered in dust, some dry grass stuck in the base. But the most disturbing thing, its eyes had been scratched out, like someone had taken a sharp tool and carved them in, leaving twisted, sunken holes. The more I looked at it, the sicker I felt. We were all into design and photography, especially our friend Mia.
Why would someone hide it under there?
Mia asked, snapping pics.
And why the eyes?
Our other friend Zoe whispered.
Maybe it was sealed away.
I swallowed hard. All the other statues were broken, but this one, the one hidden underneath, was perfectly intact. Almost like someone left it there on purpose, but didn't want it to be seen. None of us dared touch it. We took our photos and left. That night at my rental, I didn't think too much about it, but around 3 a.m., something started itching at my ankle. I shifted a bit and felt it again. A soft, cold touch, slowly brushing up my leg. I bolted upright and turned on the light. The floor was clean, nothing under the bed. I tried to convince myself it was my imagination. But just as I lay back down, my phone lit up. A photo from Mia. No message, just the picture. I opened it. It was the small statue from earlier that day, but this time, it was smiling. The face, which had been blurry before, was now clear. The corners of its mouth curled up ever so slightly, and the head tilted just a bit more, like it was looking straight at whoever took the photo. I texted her, "Did you just take this?" She never replied. Over the next few nights, I had the same dream. I was curled up beneath an old wooden table, stuck in place, unable to move. Across from me, something else was curled up too. Its shape looked like the little statue, only bigger. Each time I tried to see its face, it would start crawling toward me, reaching out to touch my leg. That touch was exactly the same as what I'd felt that first night. And the last time I had the dream, it spoke. Its voice came from beneath the wood, slow and muffled.
You saw me, so don't pretend you didn't.
I woke up drenched in sweat, and on my ankle was a short, red scratch, like a fingernail had dragged across it. I called Mia, asked him about the photo. She paused, then said, "That photo, I never sent it to you." She said her phone had glitched out that week. Some kind of virus. Deleted a bunch of his pictures, including all the ones from the temple. I didn't ask anything else. But after I went home for a visit, I kept glancing under the old wooden table in our living room. And I swear there's something in the shadows down there now. Some shape. Just waiting for me to get close again. That's it for today's story. Do you think that bowed head statue ever actually moved? Or maybe we shouldn't have gone there in the first place. This is Kelly, and maybe it's watching you right now. Like the story? Want more creepy tales like this? Hit like, subscribe, and share. It really helps the channel grow.